Hi, welcome again to Taraji Eco Farm. Today we are going to discuss and share some insights on how to start self-sufficiency poultry farm. And we say poultry because we keep several types of poultry on the farm: ducks, guinea fowls, chicken, turkeys. And this is in response to the questions we've got on our social media pages on how to start this kind of farm, a self-sufficiency poultry farm. And also some experienced people have told us that they bought 20 chicken to try and keep, and they've all passed on, or they've eaten all the chicken and all that. So we thought it's good to do this and share with you some insights for any budding farmer who wants to do this. And so for us, this journey was, we knew what we wanted, especially because the first thing when you want to start this kind of farm, you decide what breed you want. Do you want layers? Do you want broilers? Do you want the indigenous type? Do you want the improved ones? So for us, from the word go, we knew that we wanted indigenous birds because our plan was to house them at night and let them forage for food during the day. Yeah. So essentially, we had to start small because we are not living around here, and we had to do farming through telephone. So we bought 5 birds, 1 cockerel, then you had two ducks, and then 3 ducks, 1 male, 2 female. We had 2 turkeys, 1 male, 1 female, and there are 2 guinea fowls, 3 guinea fowls, 2 male, 2 female, 1 male. So we started very small. And then we had to keep on consulting, calling to find out the birds were and to understand what they liked eating. And for the first few weeks, they were enclosed inside. They were not roaming around because it's not on our property. We are on our parents' place, and we are not around here. So initially, when we started and moved to a property, these were the first housing we had for the poultry, and here we had currently it's being used as a sick bay and also as a isolation place. The guinea fowls we have in here are all male guinea fowls that have been fighting. When guinea fowls are they're like the teenagers, they really fight a lot. The male ones fight a lot, so we have to isolate them and leave the females there with only 2 males, and leave the rest of the males there so they don't fight a lot. But anyway, this is where we started from. So these houses could house the first few birds that we had, and you can even see the first parents. This was our first male turkey. That was the first male female on the farm, and from these 2, we've had almost 50 or 60 turkeys. Some of them are died. We've sold some. We had challenges with turkeys that I'm going to explain later on. But these are the parents. These are the grandparents, and they're here because we don't want any inbreeding, so we isolate them. They stay alone. But then this is where we started. We had 3 ducks. We had 2 turkeys. We had 5 chicken, and then through their growth, they have to grow this place. So that's why I had moved, and we're going to show you the other place where they're staying now. And so starting small is important, and very simple structures like this ones. These don't cost much to construct, so it doesn't have to be expensive when you start. Start with a small number of birds. Use the locally available materials to build the coop, the chicken coop for them, or the poultry coop for them, and let them grow. Don't eat them. As they lay eggs, don't eat all the eggs. You can let them hatch some of the eggs, and also it's you let them grow and also give to the next generation. Yeah, now you can see the magic of growth. Where I've shown you where we started and where we currently are. You can see the magic of growth. So patience also helps a lot. That you look after the chicken well, you make sure they don't get disease, or they get, you treat them well, and the advantage of this indigenous breed is that it's resistant to some diseases, and it's also strong. It fights diseases, so you don't get a lot of deaths from diseases from here. Out of a brood of about 40 birds, maybe you lose 2 or 3, but most of them get to survive. But you can see the growth after we started, and then they started laying eggs. We hatched the eggs, we looked after the chicks, and then they grew up. We had to expand the housing, and that's why we've come here. And you can see construction here now is a little bit more expensive than what initially we started with. You can see we've spent we had to buy a lot of materials. You can see from the housing, And this housing here can comfortably house maybe 50-60 birds on this small one. We estimate, according to us, maybe around 200-300 birds. So next thing, after you've identified what breed you want to keep, I think the other important thing is the housing for the chicken. The housing needs to be comfortable, protect them from predators, especially at night when you're not there, and also it needs to be well ventilated so they can get fresh air inside. Maybe I can walk in and show you. This is the current housing for the birds. The main house, let's say the main house for the birds now. Most mature birds live inside here, and currently close to 100 live inside here. But you can see they have places to perch at night. Once they fed, and then you give them food around 4 o'clock today. After they feed well and they are satisfied, they're going to perch up here for the night. You also have laying boxes at the far end, and you can actually see the chicken inside now laying eggs inside there. Maybe the other interesting thing I need to tell you is that indigenous birds, unlike the improved ones, they don't lay eggs like every day. They're going to lay eggs maybe for around 10, 12, 15 eggs, and then they stop. Now they want to brood. So they don't lay eggs consistently like the other one can lay for 3 months or so. These ones will lay eggs, only enough eggs that for them to brood. So what you have is you have 3 different stages of chicken. You have the very old ones, then you have another middle age, and then you have the smaller ones that we show you in the other house. Which means now, once they mature, the big ones lay eggs maybe for a month and a half. They stop. The next one takes over because these ones want to brood. The other one takes over and lays eggs, and then so usually you always have eggs around. But that's because you have different ages of birds inside here, and they start laying differently. But for this breed, you don't get eggs every day. So you also have a structure for the chicks. These are 2-month-old chicks. I don't know if you can see them properly, but these are 2-month-old chicks. You can show them. This is where we house them. As you can see, inside here we have guinea fowls. We have about 10. We have actually 10 guinea fowls, and maybe about 32, 33 chicken chicks. But this will stay here for the next 1 month until they get to 3 months, and they stop eating the chick starter mash, and then you're going to let them roam outside. Now they can forage for food, and also we'll subsidize that with some other food later on. But we keep them here until they're 3 months. They come here when they're 1 month old, and they stay until they're 3 months. Then after that, now we can release them outside. That's basically because we want them to get to a size that the hawks and the eagles cannot carry them away. Otherwise, when they're younger than this, when they are maybe 1, 2, 3 weeks, up to 1 month, we keep them in these small structures over here, or cages. Currently, we're using them as isolation places for these chicks. Some of them are sick, that's why they're putting inside here. But when you have chicks that have hatched from let's say the chicks hatch today, and then tomorrow we'll give them glucose and the liquid paraffin to help with the digestion, and then we put them inside these cages during the day with their mother. So they stay inside here, they eat from here, they drink from here until they get to 1 month old. And basically that's because of, again, predators around here. We have a lot of hawks, we have a lot of eagles, we have a lot of other things here. So that's why we keep them inside here, to protect them from the predators for the first 1 month. So yeah, after now you've done properly, you've given you've identified your breed, they've started growing, and then you've constructed proper housing for them. And remember, the house has to be warm, has to be well ventilated, has to be protect them from predators. Now the other thing is, let me say, diseases. Of course, you don't experience diseases at the farm. We also get those diseases over here. We try as much as possible to be preventing the diseases by giving them maybe aloe vera every week or so, ginger in their water, pili pili, which is what do you call pili pili in English? Pepper in their water, so that to prevent some diseases. But inevitably, chicken are going to be sick, because you have other birds that come inside here, and their droppings and all that. Like now you can see the 2 cages over here have birds that have been isolated from the rest of the population. And if maybe I can show you, let's see. Okay, whatever I experienced here was coccidiosis and a bit of infection with the eyes. Also, you give them medicine, and we've also isolated them for a while. These are the sick birds. Yeah, another thing to be about this is to be observant. Every day you wake up in the morning, you check their droppings. You check how the birds are, whether how their feathers are, or whether they have drooped feathers or their feathers nice and healthy. You check whether they have any physical harms, physical injuries. Sometimes the birds fight with each other, or sometimes, like the young ones over there, if you delay feeding for a while, or they're not given sufficient food, they're going to start fighting, and you can see some of them have injuries. So basically, it's to be alert always and get the disease early enough so you can treat it before it spreads to the rest of the population. And then our birds are usually, we fence around. You can see we have fence around here. They don't usually go out a lot and meet with other birds, and then because that helps a lot, you don't get any disease at the farm. And also things like Newcastle, which you have to do we have to give medicine every 3 months to prevent Newcastle. That's basically because you have birds, wild birds that come over here, and they get in contact with the birds. The final thing I want to say about diseases is, for us, one, this indigenous breed is resistant to a lot of diseases. But the main thing about diseases is to be very vigilant and practice preventive ways. That is, make sure their diet is correct. Make sure you give them things like aloe vera, ginger in their water, and pepper. This helps a lot and boosts their immunity to fight diseases. So the best thing about diseases is to prevent rather than treat. Yeah. So again, to start a chicken farm, you need to understand feeding, the birds, the poultry's eating habits, what they need, what they require. Like humans, they also require a balanced diet. They need to have vitamins, they need to have proteins, they need to have carbohydrates for the energy. So you have to be careful and make sure your birds are eating right. What we do with the birds here is, ours are mostly free range. They will open for them when the sun comes out, or the ground is a little dry at around 8:39, and then they're going to go out. You can see like the birds foraging here for worms, for grass, for insects. Some of them go to a compost pit to eat. Basically, they're going to do this the whole day until around 3 or 4 p.m. When now we'll give them, we'll put them back inside and put food for them. That's commercial feed, but mostly they feed on free range, and then we just add a little bit for the commercial part, so that in case they're roaming here the whole day and they didn't get a balanced diet, that will help them. Otherwise, it's very impossible for them to get a balanced diet with these numbers outside here. You need a very big space for them to be to properly get satisfied without giving them enough food. So yeah, that's what we do. But mostly we let some, there's grass, a lot of grass here in our compost pit, where we throw some kitchen waste, fruit leftovers and all that, so they can go there and just dig for worms. Yeah, so that's what we feed our birds on. And for this type of breed, the indigenous breed, they enjoy being outside. They enjoy the freedom of being outside, running around, playing with each other, exercising. If you had to enclose them in the house for the whole day, they look very miserable. So this one enjoying being out here, I think this is their forte. They love being outside, and they love foraging for food rather than being closed inside and given commercial feeds. So yeah, that's what you do. Yeah, so you also can decide, because the thing is, you cannot keep, let's say, broilers, the improved type or layers, and let them roam like this. One, they have a higher risk of disease, and then they need a lot of food maybe to grow fast or lay eggs faster. uh, uh, they're not going to be to give you enough, let's say, profit or benefit for that if you let them roam outside. Ours here, our birds lay eggs when they're 5 months old, 5 months or so old, and then they're ready to slaughter when they are around the same age, 5 or 6 months. So these are birds that we are patient with, and since you're practicing sustainability, so we're not pushing them to do things very fast. We let them grow at their own pace. But however, if you're going to decide to do layers or broilers for commercial purposes, then that will be different from what we are telling you over here. You have to do proper research on people doing it commercially. Another thing that you need to be observant about when you're doing when you want to start this kind of farming is inbreeding. You're very careful about inbreeding. Yeah, inbreeding is whereby we get chicken from the same parents, again breed by themselves again. That gives you a weaker breeder, especially they cannot deal with diseases. They will not grow as big. They have a lot of other health issues. So what we do, like currently now, we're not hatching any chicks on the farm because the cocks we have here have the same parents as the chicken we have here. And the last breed that we hatched, or the last two breeds that we hatched, we had 60 birds. We had almost 20 cockerels. So what we've been doing is the cockerels are the ones that we consume for our meat at the house, and then you're going to get in new cockerels from outside, buy them, and then bring them in, and now we start breeding again. So that means that every time you get stronger genes when you bring a cock from outside to breed with the chicken that you have. You get stronger genes. You get chicken with bigger bodies. You get better egg productivity, and also disease resistance is higher than in chicks that have been go through in breeding. Now, again, if you're going to use free range birds, you need to give them ample space. If you can look around here, you can see a lot of space for the birds to roam around, to play, and they're not congested in one specific space. I think there are laws that guide you on what kind of space you need to give per bird in meter squared or per foot squared, so that the birds are comfortable for that. So space is very important. If you're going to do this kind of farming, you need to give them ample space, the birds, so they're not crowded. And if you're going to be crowded, there are going to be a lot of fights among them and injuries. Another thing I forgot to mention is with predators, sometimes, like for us here, you can see the male turkey. It's when like an eagle comes here or a hawk and sees the male turkey, it goes away. So they help protect the birds from harm. And then we also have guinea fowls. We've not shown you the guinea fowls we have on the farm, but the guinea fowls also help. Like at night, if there's a dog that comes here or somebody's passing here, they make a lot of noise to alert us that there's an issue here. And the male turkey too makes a lot. So that also serves as protection for the birds at the farm. There are going to be challenges, and a lot of challenges, with poultry farming. And let me share some of that with you guys. We used to love turkey meat, but as in Kenya, turkey meat is very expensive. So when you came here, we thought you're going to farm our own turkeys and be eating our own turkeys, which we've done, and we've enjoyed the meat very much. But there have been challenges. We are the first 2 batches of chicks, turkey chicks. I don't know what they're called, but turkey chicks that did very well. I think it was about 30 something chicks, and then at some point they started getting sick. They get yellow droppings, yellow like diarrhea droppings. We tried to treat with everything. We tried our local ways of aloe vera, ginger, and everything, onions. It didn't work. We tried calling in a vet, and he told us going to boost the immunity and give them some antibiotics. It didn't work out. So you lose 16 chicks, you lose 10 chicks in a span of about 4 days. And that's why we've cut down really on turkeys at the farm, because again, that disease, my research showed me it was called I don't know, black something. I'm forgetting the research, but you can tell me in the comments below what disease if you have the same experience. But we lost so many. We've lost around 40 or so chicks, and some of them we lose them when they're about 3 months old, 3 months, 3.5 months old. Very big. We fed them for all that time. It's a big loss. So for turkeys, it was a big challenge for us. So now on the farm, we've cut down on the turkeys a lot. We only have now about 5 turkeys. We'll only hatch maybe another 10 or 15 just for our own consumption of meat. But we're not going to have so many turkeys at the farm for now until we solve that challenge. However, on the other hand, guinea fowls have been wonderful. No diseases, no injuries, no deaths at all. So we've had many guinea fowls at the farm. Even now we have a lot of guinea fowls at the farm. So we use them for our meat mainly. So there are also challenges, even for chicken. You can see, like I've shown you where we had isolated the birds. Yesterday, the day before yesterday, we went to bed nicely. The birds were looking healthy, bubbly, and all that. But when we woke up in the morning, the chicks, the chicken we showed you at the isolation was sick again. Droppy wings, bloody droppings. Some had rashes on the eyes, and then they were looking like their ruffled feathers, very cold. So we had to intervene quite fast to clear that. So there's going to be challenges, uh, especially with diseases, which are very sudden. The challenge we had on the farm is we had a population explosion at some point, where we had so many turkeys, we had so many chicken, and so many guinea fowls. We had to scramble to build a housing for them, because again, when you could put them crowded in one place, the chicks start hurting each other, they start getting diseases. So we had to scramble for housing. That way we had planned or not planned well, but now we understand that that has to be done. So if you are getting into this kind of business or kind of self-sufficiency way, you need to plan ahead. You need to look at your birds, know how many birds you want, and also estimate the housing you're going to need for the birds. But yeah, but so there are challenges at the farm. But there's nothing in this life that has no challenges. You know, it's only to face them, prepare for them, and also deal with them when they happen. It's a very fulfilling way of life, having a self-sufficient farm for your meat, for your eggs, knowing where your meat comes from, what it's fed on, knowing where your eggs are coming from, knowing what they're eating, know that that's safe for you and for your family. It's a very fulfilling kind of life, and we love it. For those who've been engaging with us on our channel, on our comment section, thank you for that. And please keep on engaging with us, keep on commenting, keep on telling us your experiences so we can share us with you. Tell us what you want to learn. So you can also, if you have answers for you here, we're going to let you know that. And we also have so many videos on our channel, not just for chicken, but we grow our own vegetables, we grow our own food, we grow our own fruits. We're all about our whole self-sufficient life here at the farm, and we enjoy sharing that with you. So please subscribe to our channel, share with your friends, and also comment on the comment section.